Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Refuge from Narcissism, and this refugee video is sponsored by contribution from Vincent. And Vincent sent in an article from the Washington Post from 2019 about Michael Vick and what happened to his dogs from his dog fighting ring. And, he said, I think this made Pitidiot possible. And here's the thing. Didn't make Pitidiot's always existed, because I remember back in the 80s when the whole ban pit bull push came, because they were attacking everything left and right. What it did do is it gave these organizations, these quote unquote pet rescues, a lifeline to the Pitidiots. Gave them a lifeline that these dogs can be saved. Okay? So, before we even get to that, I think before we even read the article, go through the pit bull bingo of all the excuses pit bull owners make when their dog does what it's genetically designed to do. Okay, this is a game. Put a token over each statement when you hear it. See how fast you can get bingo. Bonus, you get a second tone if any of the phrases below complete a sentence like, I'm so sorry your toddler grandma innocent pet was killed and maimed, but it's all how you raise them. They're bred to be nanny dogs. Gotta watch them around children. Wasn't trained correctly. There's no such thing as a pit bull. Photo of a pit with a baby. Pit bulls are misunderstood. Dogs are just like people. You're racist. You're ignorant. Get educated. Coconuts kill more people. You should have gotten a bigger dog. I guess that's in case one of these things kills your dog. You shouldn't have been in your front yard. Your dog shouldn't have barked. I have the right to own any pet I want. Toughen up. It's not that bad. It's just going to lick you to death. Blame the owner. Don't blame the owner. Blame the deed, not the breed. Somehow the dog got out. Somehow the dog broke free. Chihuahuas bite more. All dogs bite. My dog would never bite. I can't believe my dog bit someone. You must have done something. Poor dog was scared, confused, being protective. Photo of a pit bull in a tutu. or a princess crown or whatever. Okay? The scared, confused, being protective is one of the most common used of why this dog mauled your child, mauled you, killed your pet, killed your cat, killed whatever, did what it did. It's just scared and confused. So let's read the story from Vincent. A second chance. 12 years ago, 47 dogs were rescued from Michael Vick's dogfighting operation allowed to live. They've enriched the lives of countless humans and altered the course of animal welfare. So, here are the monsters. Oh, there's a little cute little thing on this one. There's your dog in a tutu, so you can put that. There's another dog in a tutu right here. It's projecting power through dangerous animals. 47 dogs taken off his dog fighting ring. 47 of them. Kanab, Utah. Not long before lunchtime, Maya's wagging tail splashes as she waits for the tank to drain. The bow-legged black pit bull just finished a 3-minute hydrotherapy session, guided by treats offered from a staffer reaching down into the apparatus. But while Maya walks slowly on the submerged treadmill, she notices Laura Retherot's car through the window. Once the tank empties, Maya scurries down the ramp as fast as she can with her weakened legs, which have splayed more as she aged. Good morning, beautiful, says Retherot, who embraces Maya with a towel. I'm right here. Retheret loads Maya and her runmate, Curly, into her car and drives to the quiet office where the dogs hang out a few times a week. These dogs are a reminder that even now, 12 years later, survivors of former NFL quarterback Michael Vick's dogfighting operation live in pockets throughout the country, including here at Best Friends Animal Society's 3,700-acre sanctuary. Now, you want to put these dogs on a sanctuary where professionals are caring for them? I have no problem with it. 3,700 acres seems like plenty of room. My concern is, okay, and not even my concern, because I see this firsthand on multiple occasions. People I know think they're certified dog trainers, think that they can do rescue, think that they can rehabilitate these monster dogs, and they can't. They can't. I see these videos, some of them like on Facebook. This guy walks around with these massive pits off the leash because they listen and they're trained. Well, that's great for you, dude. That's great for you. Okay, but there's going to be 20 idiots behind you who think they could do what you do, okay, by putting in a tenth of the effort. And that's when somebody gets hurt. See, this case should have been an example of, well, why are they using pit bulls in a dogfighting operation in the first place? Oh, because they're dangerous and they're predisposed to fight anyway. Vick pleaded guilty in 2007 to running an illegal dogfighting ring in southeastern Virginia, a scandal that cast a spotlight on the problem of dogfighting rings around the nation. But for 47 dogs pulled from bad news kennels, there was another, less publicized development that helped change how dogs in large-scale dogfighting busts are treated. Rather than being euthanized, the dogs were given the Vick dogs were given a chance to live. Sounds noble. Sounds noble. Okay, and you feel bad for these dogs because they didn't put themselves in this situation, even though they're predisposed for fighting, and now they've been trained to fight and they've been abused. So now let's play Pitidiot bingo. Let's roll the dice with these Pitidiots. Like, if you want to keep these dogs on these type of sanctuaries, fine, but we're talking about adopting out these animals. The dogs became ambassadors, tail-wagging proof of what's possible through rescue and rehabilitation. Tail-wagging, licking, it's the same thing on the pit bull, on the pit bingo. Every dog has a tail and wags their tail. Saying it's wagging its tail. These things wag their tail as they're killing things. As they're killing other animals, as they're attacking people. Go watch the videos. Their tails are wagging. Dogfighting remains prevalent, but now in large part, thanks to these dogs, others seized in fight busts are evaluated to see if they can become pets. So it's not only the Vick dogs. Now, anytime they're finding dogfighting rings, they're trying to rehabilitate these dogs. And the real problem is a lot of these organizations lie about these dogs' histories. They lie, just so they can adopt them out. Because they don't want to euthanize them. Because they want to prove they're smarter than nature. The Pitidiot does. The Washington Post tracked down all 47 dogs and compiled a comprehensive look into their post-adoption lives and the families they joined. They landed in homes from California to Rhode Island, embraced by people with jobs ranging from preschool teacher to attorney. Some adopters love sports, others never heard of Vick, once the highest paid player in the NFL, who at the time of the bust starred for the Atlanta Falcons. Some of the dogs struggle to heal emotionally and remain fearful throughout their lives. By fearful, what they mean is vicious. See, there's the fearful word. See, fearful. Poor dog was scared, confused, was being protected. See, you got to understand the Pitidiot language. You got to understand Pitidiot code. Fearful means vicious. Fearful means aggressive. But they all found homes far more loving than the horror-filled kennel that made the headlines around the globe. Is that a hard thing to do? If you remove a dog from a dogfighting ring, is it really hard, no matter where you put it and call it home, is it really hard to find a more loving home than that? Not really. That's not really saying anything. It sounds nice, it sounds flowery, but it doesn't mean anything. While Michael Vick was a deplorable person in a lot of ways, the fact that he was the one that got caught was really a big boom for this whole topic and for these animals. Best Friends co-founder Francis Batista said it just catapulted into the public eye. And they used it because of his celebrity. That this was like a federal charge. Now, I don't know how many dogfighting rings that get broken up get charged federally. I don't think very many. But this was a chance to take somebody in the spotlight and to use it. And to use it for another goal. Because these Pitidiots, they screamed about these pit bull bands that were in a lot of these towns. And in complexes, apartment houses, communities that have outright pit, they scream and they cry and they tell you how it's not the dog's fault. In late August, just a few weeks after her therapy session, Maya spent her final moments laying on blankets surrounded by best friend staffers, including Retheret, whose face turned red as Maya slipped away. She's one of five of the Vick dogs who have died in the recent months, leaving just 11 survivors. They are poignant reminders of the tragic beginnings, but also the grace and patience of unexpected opportunities that followed. When Vick's dogfighting operation was broken up, animal rescues from around the country understood the gravity of the case, but also understood it presented the opportunities it presented because of the NFL star's fame. The opportunities it presented because of the NFL star's fame. So how do we use his fame, to push these vicious animals back out on society? Oh, we'll make it rescue and rehabilitation. Okay, and we put that idea out there for these Pitidiots. So now they're not just breeding, we're rescuing troubled dogs, abused dogs, and rehoming them. Eight organizations received custody of the animals. Some groups placed a single dog into a foster home. Best Friends agreed to give the 22 most challenging cases a place to recover and, for some, a permanent home because they couldn't be rehomed, because they were so vicious and they wouldn't stop attacking other dogs or people. That's why they couldn't be adopted. I went through the 47 dogs. They're on here. Out of the 47 they took off, 9 of them couldn't be rehomed. 9 of them had to stay permanently. So what does that mean? 20% of these dogs remain vicious. And when you read the profiles, in some of them, you can read between the lines. There's a lot more than that. Just the Pitidiot didn't want to admit the vicious dog they actually had. Not the dog's fault. Not the dog's fault. It's in their DNA and it's how they were bred. And they were put in a dogfighting ring. And you are just playing with a ticking time bomb or an unpinned grenade when you mess with these things. It's unfortunate. Because at the end of the day, it is a dog and it has moments where it can be loving and do dog-like things. But all it takes is one. Once that pin is pulled, it's going to go. The organizations worked to redefine what made a dog adoptable. The dogs were seen as victims, not irreparably damaged. I'm sorry, even if you're a victim, you can be irreparably damaged, especially a dog when it's in your DNA to do this. They weren't just pit bulls or fight dogs. They became Maya, Curly, Frodo, and Zippy. You can give whatever cute name you want to one of these dogs, okay? There's still, isn't gonna stop them from attacking. It isn't going to stop them from snapping, redefining. Does that sound familiar in 2022? Redefining definitions of what was already accepted. Seems like the world and the country and society is in the position it's in, a large part because we keep redefining things. Michael Vick brought dogfighting into the living room of every American, said Heather Gutschall, who adopted Handsome Dan after and later founded a rescue organization that aims to help survivors of dogfighting. Am I glad it happened? No, I'm glad that if it was going to happen, that it happened the way it did. Absolutely. It changed the landscape. So another one. Oh, well, I'm going to be a dog rescuer now. Really? I would be very interested in see what your success rate is on these dogs. How many of these dogs get returned to you? How many of these dogs have incidents? How many of these dogs just live in fear and you scared them or startled them or the other dog barked first? Marquee moment in animal welfare. In southern Utah, the city of Kanab makes the NFL feel like a distant enterprise. The feature of the town, which has fewer than 5,000 residents and 2 stoplights, is that it once served as the backdrop for Western films. As the highway curves from the tiny town center and through a scenic southwestern landscape of vast skies and towering orange cliffs, one right turn leads into Best Friends, a haven for second chances that is home to 1,600 animals, including dogs, cats, horses, and birds. Dogs cruise by with caregivers on golf course. A chorus of barking chaos quiets as you venture deeper through the sandy trails. It's busy and boisterous, yet vast and peaceful. John Garcia, who at the time of the Vick case co-managed the dog town at Best Friends, grew up in a neighboring town without a TV. He doesn't watch sports. Garcia only learned of Vick through his case, but he remembers the message from the rescue's senior leadership. Hey, if we get involved with this, it's a big deal, he said. We may be able to change the world. Change the world to get people to accept dangerous animals. Not only dangerous animals, okay? Now, these aren't pit bulls that are just born to some idiot who thinks they're a fucking breeder. No. These are dogs who have actually been involved in dog fighting. You're going to change the world with these animals. No, you're not, you goddamn idiot. You're just playing Pitidiot bingo. That's all you're doing. But because it's Michael Vick and he's the superstar, okay, and he's a black quarterback and all this, we can use this publicity. And this is what these people do. They use whatever publicity they can to achieve their end goal. Because these people have been screaming about pit bull bans since they started getting enacted in the 80s. The pressure to help dogs and prove they could indeed be helped was palpable because Vick's fame turned the dogfighting bust into a national story, not just a conversation about in the animal welfare community. Many watch with curiosity or skepticism, wondering whether a dog from a traumatic past could ever live normally in society. Bad rap and 20% of them can't. 20% of them ended up being ticking time bombs. Are those odds you want to take? Would you switch? If I said, here, hold this, it has 20% odds of blowing up, possibly permanently maiming you or killing you, your friends, your children. Would you take that risk? If I said, here, hold this, 20% chance this thing might explode. and kill you or permanently maim you or a family member or your pets or someone else. The Pitidiot does. The Pitidiot likes those odds. Bad Rap, an Oakland-based organization, emerged as an early voice advocating for the dogs. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals and the Humane Society of the United States thought they should be killed, in keeping with their long-standing belief that the emotional trauma such as dogs had suffered would be too much to overcome. So even PETA is saying to euthanize these dogs. Even PETA is not crazy enough, and they're crazy, is not crazy enough to say, you know what, no, these are dangerous. Because these are dogs actually involved in dog fighting. Dogs involved in dog fighting rings, and you're trying to save them. Of the 51 dogs listed in the court documents, just one needed to be euthanized for behavioral reasons. I can only imagine what that one must have done. Because of the 47 that were rescued, 9 of them could not be adopted under any circumstances. So I can imagine what the one must have been like that they couldn't even keep in a sanctuary. What did it do? Eat the owner? One named Rose was euthanized for medical reasons and 2 died in care. So that's where the 47 number comes from. Bad Rap had worked with individual dogs seized from fighting situations many times, which gave the organization confidence. Donna Reynolds, the director of Bad Rap, once said one staff member met the dogs for evaluations in Virginia, and there was a sense of relief, wiping the brow with the back of the hand, she called it. They knew they'd be able to work with them. And you know what the other problem, you don't hear anything about neutering these dogs, spaying these dogs, breeding these dogs, okay, because fighting dogs are not neutered. And most Pitidiots don't neuter their dogs because they like the aggression. So even if you have a dog, let's just say you adopted one of these dogs was adopted, let's just say they breed it out with another dog. Okay? What happens to that dog's offspring? You don't know, they don't tell you. They don't tell you. They knew they'd be able to work with them. Yeah, that's what they tell themselves. Yeah, we'll be able to work with these dogs. Bullshit. Pit bulls continue to face breed discrimination with blanket bans in part of the country. As of this year, however, 22 states have provisions against this type of legislation, and Best Friends has spearheaded initiatives to increase that number. Rehabilitating the Vick dogs have helped further the argument that the dog owner, not the breed, dictates the dog's behavior. Really? Then why are they using the pit bulls as fighting dogs in the first? Then why are they using them? If it's the owner, not the breed, then why are they using pit bulls as fighting dogs in the first place? Why? And this marquee moment in animal welfare preached values that extend beyond just pit bulls and into overarching no-kill movement. This is what really excites me because it goes to pushing the boundaries and the demonstration of what is adoptable. Best Friends CEO Julie Castle said, that flag has always been something that we've held. Most involved with the Vick case, from the adopters to the rescue staffers, express indifference toward the former quarterback himself. Visitors often ask Michelle Weaver, who once co-managed Dogtown and now oversees all animal care at Best Friends, what she thinks about the quarterback who abused dogs, such as the ones that have lounged on her in her office for years. Her answer, she doesn't think about Vick. Her energy usually goes towards the dogs. Is Curly feeling okay? He's been slowing down lately. How's Cherry, whose photo hangs near Weaver's desk, doing in his Connecticut home? Meet the dogs. These are the dogs. Alf, adopted. Gibbs said Alf was evolved in a victim to survivor thriver. Yes, he's just my family dog and my companion, and yet he's also America's dog. There's great responsibility and privilege and able to have him as an educator regarding human canine bond. Audie, Benita, never adopted. Benita arrived in best friend shy, but she opened up quickly. Occasionally, Benita would get the bucking broncos, John Garcia said, and gallop around her run. Bucking broncos means this dog is throwing itself at its kennel run trying to get out. That's what that means. You gotta understand, you gotta be able to decipher Pitidiot language. Benita dealt with babyosis, a disease common among fight dogs, and she died due to anesthesia complications during surgery. Let's see, Chucky. Let's see, adopted. Curly, never adopted. Curly earned the nickname Naughty thanks to his endearing habit of getting into trouble while spending time in best friends' offices. He recently stole a packet of cat food, but Michelle Weaver and the others have noticed a bit less mischievousness as he's aged. Then why wasn't he adopted? Was the cat food he stole inside the cat's stomach? Denzel, never adopted. Denzel was involved in an overnight incident with an uncertain sequence of events. This is Pitidiot. They just a word salad of why it's not the dog's fault. Best friend said the dog escaped its run and broke into the run of Vick dog Tug, who broke into Denzel's run. A fight ensued that left the first dog dead and Tug and Denzel in need of medical attention. So the two dogs attacked another dog and killed it. Somehow, where are we on Pitbull? Somehow the dog broke free. Somehow the dog broke out. Blame the deed, not the breed. Blame the owner. Boy, we're doing pretty well here on Pit Bingo, aren't we? Aren't we? We got a couple of these. We got a couple of these. We got the dog was scared. We got the pit bulls are misunderstood. Pitbull, Pitidiot, bingo. This is the type of language. And the problem is, you see, this dog is at an actual rescue that wouldn't adopt it out. Okay? But it's the other idiots who think that they're actual pet rescues and have the resources to do what this place is doing. And they don't. But they'll use the same language. Oh, the dog had an incident, needed to be rehomed, not good around children, not good around this, was scared. It threw the Pitidiots a lifeline, a way back in. Ellen never adopted. When Garcia met Ellen, she was confident and loved people, but had scarring and partially paralyzed face, suggesting she had fought. Garcia remembers Ellen leaping off a picnic table, all four legs outstretched, and bouncing off her well-fed stomach, earned the nickname Ellen Belly. Then why isn't? Well, she's paralyzed, but there's plenty of dogs with problems that get adopted out. Why not this one? Because she's vicious. Because she's vicious and she's dangerous. And they won't tell you that. They won't tell you this dog, Denzel, and Tug are dangerous and vicious and unfixable. And I'll put a link to this and you can go read all their profiles and play, because I'm not going to, I just want to do the dogs that never were adopted. Here's Lucas. You could tell another one that's been in fights. One of two dogs court ordered to remain at best friends for life was the easiest dog out of all of them by far, Garcia said. But Lucas had such confidence, staff worried he wouldn't signal, and he was on the verge of reacting to another dog. So they kept him safely away. He loved people. So you couldn't even bring this dog around another dog. This dog had to be court ordered to stay there, or God forbid they might have actually adopted him out. Who knows? Maya, never adopted. Maya was great with other dogs. The best friend staff enlisted her to help teach puppies socialization skills. Until her recent death, Maya lived with Curly, another Vick dog, in the same run where the dogs from this case were housed. So why never adopted? I could take one look at her and tell you why she's never adopted. Tug. Oh, this is the other murderer. This is the other dog that broke out. Tug's name was always seen fitting to Garcia, who spent a year trying to teach him how to walk better on a leash. Tug never quite mastered that skill. No, he was too busy breaking out of his pen to kill another dog. But Garcia remembers Tug's large grin, and his face said, "I'm the happiest dog in the world." Where is that? We get that on Pit Bingo. Okay. Basically, he'll lick you to death. Oh, he got a big smile. He'll just lick you to death. Willie never adopted. Willie had challenges. They all have challenges. And became more selective with people as time passed. More selective with people. That means he was attacking people he wanted to attack. He didn't know who he was going to attack. That's what that means. Pitidiot language here. You got to be able to decipher it. He liked to push balls around. We gave him things that he really liked, Weaver said. But to help him feel more secure, what we would give him was a good routine. To make him feel secure. So it's not a problem that he's vicious. He's just not secure. Another one, he's scared. He's just selective with the people whose faces he tries to maul. Zippy, and that's the last one. So 9 of 47 dogs, nearly 20% of these dogs, could not be rehomed. Several of them couple of them killed in the kennel. This one you can't allow around people. Another one you can't even put them around another dog. If I told you 20%, if I handed you this and said 20% of these are going to blow up and either kill you or cause permanent damage to you or someone around you, would you hold it in your hand? If you would, you're a dummy. Well, you can't train this. It's an inanimate object. Really? I would rather deal with this than something with a brain that can just go off and do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. You think you're training it, it's training you. It's not the anger. I think in the early days there was, said Stacy Dubach, a Green Bay Packers fan who adopted Ginger from the SPA, Montgomery County in Northern California. Honestly, at this point, I hate to say it, but somehow Vick is involved in my life, and I have the best dog possible because of it. He was the face of dog fighting. It took a celebrity to become that, and I don't talk about him. Vick, who paid nearly $1 million restitution for care of the dog, says he regrets it all and didn't have the strength to stop what he realized was wrong about a year before he got caught. Vick, 39, retired in 2017 and is an NFL analyst with Fox Sports. He has advocated for stronger animal cruelty laws and worked to educate children. I think people have moved on, Vick said in a telephone interview. I think they moved past it. It's been 12 plus years since it all happened, so I don't get any questions about it anymore. People don't talk about it. They don't ask me about it. Life is kind of normal because but I still have a responsibility, and that will change. Well, the first thing I would ask Michael Vick is, why were you trying to project power through dangerous animals? We could probably talk about his mother there and all that. I'm sure I could help him out there if he wanted to, but I digress. You don't need my help. People don't talk about it because they used you for what they already needed you for. They used your case to try to eliminate these pit bull vans and be able to be and use your Pitidiot language and excuses. Oh, these dogs can be rehomed. These dogs can be trained. Maybe by professionals, but for every professional organization that tries this, I will show you 20 more idiots who don't know what they're fucking doing and do this and try to rehome these dogs and get people hurt, killed, and maimed. Dogs treated as individuals. Mel's life was not normal. Mel trembled whenever strangers entered Richard Hunter's suburban Las Vegas home. The emotional scars from his time at Bad News Kennels still evident 12 years on. But Hunter always emphasized the progress Mel had made, though he let his dog's continued struggles to serve as a reminder of what Vick did. See, when they just say, oh, he's just scarred emotionally and he's scared, they're not telling you that this dog probably attacks somebody else's dog and this dog snaps and this dog is dangerous. That's not what they don't tell you. The Pitidiot is never honest. The Pitidiot will never admit to an incident until it happens, a past incident, until one actually happens. Every night Hunter walked Mel and his two other dogs. It would take Mel a minute to get going. He'd pause in the short driveway, look in each direction, take slow steps, assess the situation, and only then decide he was ready to walk. The stories of these dogs, Hunter said, shouldn't be reduced to a Disney-style tale. Everyone is great in a lot of ways now, Hunter said in July, shortly before Mel's death following a brief and unexpected illness. But you better believe the ghost of what Vick did to him and did to those other dogs stays with him to this day and always will. I'm sure it does. When Mel and the other 21 best friend dogs arrived at the Utah sanctuary, they surprised the staff with their shyness. While some of Dogtown's newest residents, dubbed the Victory Dogs, were overconfident and aggressive, many seemed under-socialized and afraid. For at least 6 months, the dogs had 24-hour care. Garcia slept on the concrete floor of the building that housed the dogs for a month straight. 6 months, 24-hour care. How many of these idiots are actually doing this that are trying to rehome these dogs, these fly-by-night organizations? Progress was gradual. The issues varied. Georgia, a former dogfighting champion, reacted to other dogs a football field away. Others loved canine companions, and socializing with dogs helped them get closer to people. Many had never walked on a leash. They hadn't lived in a home environment. They needed to learn how to play. It was clear, Weaver said, that their world was pretty small before. Once in homes, the dogs still had their own quirks, which in many ways exemplify the legacy these dogs will live, that all animals, even from a fighting background, should be treated as individuals. Layla, who died in June, needed her collar removed when she ate. The clanging of her tag hitting the stainless steel food bowl frightened her. Shadow, one of the 11 still alive, remains terrified of ladders, making his family wonder if he saw dogs being hanged. His adopters don't think Shadow fought, but the fights took place on the second level of a shed, accessible by a ladder. So you don't know what's going to snap. So what if this dog gets adopted and never saw a ladder before? Didn't see a ladder at the sanctuary, and then goes out and sees a ladder when it's adopted and snaps. Then what? You don't know what's going to trigger the dog. Even the best organization could miss something. 20%. 20%. If you 20% chance of blowing up in your face, would you do it? Public Facebook pages have chronicled the dog's post-adoption adventures for thousands of followers. Handsome Dan's page has 546,000 likes. Adopters shared successes in the dog's lives in a world that slowly became more comfortable. I almost forgot where he came from because he's such a typical dog now, says Melissa Facchione, who adopted Cherry. The dog's confidence has surged through the years. Cherry spent a week this summer in a cabin with more than a dozen people, including many children. The family had posted a photo of Cherry on a dock with his eyes squinting and a massive tongue flopping happily. There. Photo of a pit with a baby. Okay, there you go. You can put another one there. Okay. What happened to you got to watch him around children? He frequently attends public events and loves greeting everyone. Facchione's husband, Paul, says Cherry took on the rock star persona. After about a year after the Vick dogs were dispersed around the country, a North Carolina man pleaded guilty to dog fighting. All 127 dogs seized and the puppies born during the legal proceedings were euthanized. Probably best. Leaders from across animal welfare met to confront the issue, and it prompted the Humane Society to adjust its stance on dogs seized from fight busts. The experience with Vick dogs, Batista said, was pivotal in that policy change. And here's the thing. You got to keep in mind now, okay? You don't know exactly where these pits came from. If you're going in and adopting and giving you a history, you don't know. You don't know. Now they're out there implementing these dogs out in society again. And you wonder why you're seeing all these pit bull stories up in the news. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why there seems to be a rise and a rash of pit bull attacks lately. PETA's stance remains firmly the same as it was in 2007, Senior Vice President Daphne Namarich said in a statement, adding that dogs from these situations can be unpredictable and a danger to other animals and humans. That's PETA saying that. And I'm no fan of PETA. That's PETA telling these dog people, these Pitidiots, stop. You don't know what you're dealing with these dogs. And now, because of the Michael Vick situation and all the media behind it and the whole thing, now they found out 127 dogs were put down from another ring that they wanted to be put back out into fucking society. 80% of them, at least. And why is it always pit bulls? If it's not the breed, then why do all these pit bull organizations use pit bulls? Why do all these dog fighters use pit bulls? Why? Dogfighting continues to be a problem in the United States, but Jeanette Reaver, a senior specialist for Humane Society International's global anti-dogfighting program, said she believes it's declining. Dogfighting is an underground enterprise. However, there's not comprehensive data to prove that. Since 2008, dogfighting has been a felony in all 50 states, and Reaver said law enforcement has realized animal cruelty is often joined by other illegal activities, providing an additional incentive for police to look into reports of fighting rings. Uba, a Vick dog who lives with Letty D. Little in Northern Virginia, has a housemate named Jamie, a dog from a 2013 multi-state fight bust in which 367 dogs were seized. And they didn't use this is how many of these dog fighting dogs are out there. And if they go and they breed those and those offspring, think about it. The Missouri 500, a 2009 seizure of more than 400 dogs, is still the largest fight bust in U.S. history. And thank God it happened after the Vick case, which means they weren't euthanized. Almost 500 dogs actually involved in dog fighting. Thank God it happened after the Vick case, said Lady Lakevich, a senior legislative attorney for Best Friends, whose dog Karma was among those rescued. She would be dead but for the Vick dogs, Vankavich said. I have no doubt they were game changers. Yeah, the Vick bust saved the Pitidiot. The Vick bust saved the Pitidiot. From across the small church in rural Virginia, Vick's property has been purchased by Dogs Deserve Better, an organization that focuses on rescuing chained-up pen dogs. On a summer day, dogs run in the fence yard, and the mood feels cheerful. Then there are four sheds where Vick kept and fought his dogs. All are painted black, even the windows, to make them less visible at night. The group decided to preserve these relics of the dogfighting operation for educational purposes. The kennels inside one of the buildings still show claw marks on the wall, but there's hope and remembrance too, through memorial candles and trees dedicated to each dog planted in the grassy field out back. They've gone through so much, they've changed so much, Garcia said. They'll never be forgotten. Garcia now works as the safety and security manager at Best Friends. Sometimes during night shifts, he wanders up to the cemeteries, where hundreds of wind chimes ring in different pitches in the breeze and intensify into a song when the strong wind arrives. It's peaceful and quiet. A number of the victory dogs rest there with small memorial stones towering into mountains on top of their graves. One has a toy golf cart representing how the dog loved riding around with caregivers along with an old tennis ball. A couple of the adopters brought their dog's ashes back to Best Friends, to the place that gave them a chance. That's what felt right, and it helped preserve their legacy as the dogs fade further from the public eye. But far from this canyon and across the country, other dogs live because of these 47. So as time eventually defeats them all, the message of on a slab of stone in the cemetery carries hope and truth. Do not stand by my grave and cry, the poem reminds those who enter through the graves of ornate gates. I am not there. I did not die. Let me ask you something. Where's the story of the graves of the people these pit bulls killed? Where are their chimes? The Pitidiot could care less. So yes, Vincent, absolutely. The Michael Vick case saved the Pitidiot. You think about how many of these dogs, 500, 400 at a clip, that get rescued from these dogfighting operations and then try to get reacclimated and rehomed. And then you wonder why you still have so many incidents of pit bulls snapping and killing animals and maiming babies and killing children and killing their owners. Michael Vick saved the Pitidiot, bottom line. So, thank you again, Vincent, for another contribution and topic. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Refuge from Narcissism. Take care, everyone.